But this is a really good opportunity for someone like me to provide a sort of a high-level overview of some of the things that we're up to here in the Faculty of Education, particularly for people who may not have been back for a long time. So I'd like to talk a little bit about some of our strategic priorities, introduce some new people that we have in our faculty, focus on 3 distinguished alumni that we're very proud of, and then just give you an update on the Front and Center campaign, which is the $500 million campaign that we've been engaged in for the last many years. I'll try to keep it brief and high level for you. So our strategic priorities are many, but if I had to distill it down to 5, these would be them. First and foremost is Indigenous engagement. In light of the TRC's calls to action, we are aware that educational systems, including faculties of education like ours, need to do a better job of recruiting and supporting Indigenous students. We need to teach all students about Canadian history, including treaty education, and we need to build greater awareness of Indigenous knowledges and perspectives. And we're fast at work in a number of fronts in that regard. A second priority is focusing on equity, diversity, and inclusion. As with most other institutions, we're making efforts to diversify our faculty, staff, and students so that they better reflect the realities of Manitoba's diverse classrooms and workplaces. This will include, in the future, an increased emphasis on implicit bias training and cultural awareness training. The third one is the safe and respectful work and learning environment. As some of you will know, in light of a number of unfortunate incidents that have come to light across the university, and in advance of the release of the report that will become public tomorrow, the report's called Responding to Sexual Violence, Harassment, and Discrimination at the University of Manitoba, A Path Forward. That report becomes public tomorrow. We are continuing our efforts in the faculty to build awareness of issues related to sexual violence, harassment, and discrimination, and to work with the rest of the university to identify measures that will prevent such incidents or at least improve our collective responses to such incidents in the future. The fourth priority is educational research. As many of you will know, this Faculty of Education is the only Faculty of Education at a U15 university in the province of Manitoba. As such, we're absolutely committed to supporting our faculty members and their graduate students in conducting high quality and groundbreaking research. Many of those researchers are in the room tonight. And that is that the research, in many, many cases, is having a huge impact on education and real-life issues provincially, nationally, and around the world. And finally, I'd like to talk about learning spaces. This is one example of a very vastly improved learning space, keeping in mind that the quality of the spaces in which we work, teach, and learn can have a great impact on how we learn and the value we place on that learning. We've been working on an ambitious plan to refresh or create a number of new spaces that will improve the quality of our students' experiences. But above all, we're very focused on improving the quality of students' experiences, and these include the creation of an Indigenous community space upstairs, a student learning commons, a new combined student council EdGSA office space, and a vastly improved creative art suite. So we're very proud of the fact that we've been able to make some headway on these spaces, and we hope that they will make a difference in the quality of students' learning going forward. So stay tuned to our digital signage, our social media, faculty website on these and other initiatives throughout the year. Now, I'd like to move to new people. We have a number of new people. We were fortunate enough last year to hire 5 new faculty members, and some of them are here with us tonight. So I'm just going to briefly profile them. First of all, Dr. Bruno d'Oliveira Jamie. Is Bruno here in the room? I saw him earlier. Bruno, would you stand, please? Would you recognize? So Bruno is an assistant professor of general pedagogy. He's PhD in 2016 from UVic. He's a recipient of an NSERC and an IDRC doctoral award. He taught in public schools in Brazil. He's taught also at UVic and at Royal Roads University, and his focus is on arts-based education, social justice, and social movements. So welcome, Bruno. We're already feeling your positive energy. Next, we have Dr. Shannon Moore, assistant professor, social studies education. She earned her PhD from UBC in 2014. She's a recipient of a SSHRC doctoral scholarship. She has been a session instructor at UBC. She taught social studies and English for the Vancouver School Board for 19 years. And her focus is on gender and youth education, digital representations of gender, sexuality, and social justice. Shannon wasn't able to be here, but we're very, very glad to have her in our midst. Dr. Beryl Peters. Dr. Beryl Peters is an assistant professor in teacher education. She's also assumed the role of director, Practicum and Partnerships Office, and she earned her PhD from the U of M in 2011. Many of you will know Beryl because she was an arts education consultant for 10 years with Manitoba Education and Training, or various other titles that she might have had. She's a certified ORF instructor, the recipient of a CSSC Arts Researchers and Teaching Society Doctoral Research Award, and her focus is on language and literacy, inclusive education, and arts education. And I think I saw Beryl here tonight. Beryl, are you here? There she is at the, would you stand for a second, Beryl? Thank you. Our next new person is Dr. Dawn Sutherland. She's a full professor in science education, and she's the new department head of the Curriculum of Teaching and Learning. In fact, she chaired her first department meeting earlier today. She received her PhD from the University of Nottingham in the UK. She started her university career with the Access program here at the U of M, taught at the U of W for 20 years, and then we snagged her earlier this year. She's held 2 different Canada Research Chairs in science education, and her focus, of course, is on science education, but also Indigenous education and community-based education. So welcome, Dawn, as well. And finally, Dr. Jennifer Watt, Assistant Professor in Language and Literacy. She earned her PhD here from the U of M in 2017. In the last 2 years, she taught with us as a term assistant professor, but we're very happy that she is now a tenure-track assistant professor with the faculty. She's also the recipient of a Shirk Doctoral Fellowship Award. She taught in public schools in Canada and the UK and has extensive experience working with First Nations teachers. Her focus is on language and literacy, mindfulness, compassion, and sustainable well-being. So Jennifer, I can see you right there, so why don't you stand up? What I'd also like to do tonight is just highlight 3 of our many, many distinguished alumni and just give you a brief profile. First one is Theresa Rodgers, who's a principal in Pembina Trails School Division. She earned her M.Ed in 2002. She's currently the principal of Linden Meadows School in Pembina Trails. She's skilled in nonprofit organizations, K-12 education, coaching, and instructional leadership. And she was selected as one of Canada's most outstanding principals by the Learning Partnership earlier this year. So congratulations to Theresa. Another one of our distinguished alumni is Ruth Ann Dick, who earned her M.Ed in 2012. She's the principal of the new school in South Point, Nicole South Point School and Pembina Trails School Division as well. She's been teaching for 29 years. She's a certified life coach, and as with Theresa, she was also selected as one of Canada's most outstanding principals in 2019 by the Learning Partnership. So congratulations also to Ruth Ann. And finally, I'd like to highlight Matt Henderson, who received his M.Ed in 2015. He was the recipient of a Governor General's History Award for Excellence in Teaching. He's one of CBC's Manitoba's 40 Under 40 in 2015. He's a current doctoral candidate. He was the first principal of the new Met School in Seven Oaks, and he's recently appointed as the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Programs in Seven Oaks School Division. So congratulations to Matt as well. So just before I pass things on to my colleague, Dr. John Wren, who's the president of the Alumni Association, I'd like to just say a few words about the Front and Center campaign. I wanted you to know that since the beginning of the Front and Center campaign, 1,867 donors, 1,691 of those alumni, have contributed well over $2 million to the Faculty of Education. So far this year, 207 donors, 203 of whom are alumni, have given over $18,000. And I wanted you to know that over $6,000 from 57 donors has already been raised for the Northern Practicum program. This is a program where we really strongly encourage our teacher candidates to go north, to experience what it's like to be in northern Indigenous communities, and we support them financially to make that happen. And so I wanted you to know that we're very grateful for those of you who've given, very grateful for those of you who might consider doing it, and I wanted you rest assured that any donations, large and small, go to improving the quality of students' experiences to make sure that our graduates are the best prepared graduates in the province. So thank you very much. And I'm going to pass things now on to John, and we'll carry on with the rest of the program. Have a great evening.